So again, after you explain the why, you want to write the corrected sentence. If there's more than one correct sentence, usually there's not, but there sometimes can be more than one way to correct your error. You can write both possibilities if you've thought of both. So you're going to do this process, number 2 through number 5, for all 10 of the words or errors that are on your paper. So again, you're going to first number each error from number 1 to 10 on your final essay. So for each number, number 1, number 2, number 3, till number 10, you're going to do step 2 through step 5. And on your paper that you'll do on the computer, you're just going to do this in a little chart all the way down the page. And so what you turn in to me will look like a chart with each of these errors on it. The only thing she doesn't have here that she should have is the number of the error. So number 1 on your on this assignment should correspond to the number 1 error you highlighted in your essay. And then number 2 that you have on your assignment should correspond to the number 2 highlight on your essay to keep it organized for both of us. After you do number 2 through number 5, I want you to answer some or all of the following questions in a well-thought paragraph, at least 6 to 8 sentences. It can be more. My questions are, do you notice any patterns in your grammar mistakes? What mistakes do you think you can correct on your own next time? How are you going to check for these mistakes on your next essay? Were there any underlying mistakes that you didn't know how to fix? How can you improve your knowledge of this area of grammar for your next writing assignment? So these questions are just helping you think about what you just did, what your assignment was, to help you further consider what you'll do in the future to make yourself a better personal editor for yourself. So you don't need to answer all of these. If you pick 1 or 2 and answer 6 to 8 sentences or more, then that's fine as well. Okay, now I wanted to take you through some of the most popular errors that I will have highlighted on your papers and talk to you a little bit more in detail about each of them. If you don't have every one of these, which most of you don't need to watch that part right now unless you want to. But you should really focus on the areas that you had mistakes in, so you can jump around to it if you'd like. So on your sheet here, the first error that I speak about on your error symbol key is a verb tense error. Now, what does a verb tense error mean? It means that the time frame of your verb, past, present, or future, is incorrect. You are using the wrong time frame in your sentence. So an example is, he go to his house yesterday. How do I know go should be changed? Well, because of this word right here, right? This word yesterday tells me that this is something that happened in the past, and so go should not be the verb that he's using here. He needs to use the simple past. So the correction would be, he went to his house yesterday. This is a very simple example, but you get the idea that if you have a VT error, that means whatever verb you used, you really meant to put past, but you said present. You meant to put future, but you said past. or something like that. So look at the time frame that you're talking about in your sentence to correct this kind of error. The next type of error on your sheet is a word form error. And what I see here is that the time frame, past, present, or future, of your verb is correct, but the way your verb looks is wrong. What do I mean by that? Well, maybe you're using an ing when you shouldn't, or you're not using an ing when you should. You didn't add an S on a verb for he, she, and it subject. Maybe you use the present perfect instead of the past perfect. Maybe you use the simple past instead of the present perfect. But the idea here is that the time frame is correct. So if you're talking about the past, your verb looks like it belongs in the past. If you're talking about the present, your verb looks like it belongs in the present. But how the verb actually looks on the page, the form of the verb is not quite correct. An example here: children learning to socialize with a variety of other children. So here, this verb is in the present. It's an ing verb. We're not sure if she was trying to use it as a present progressive verb or as a gerund, which is a verb that has become a noun. We're not sure, but either way, this is just not the way a verb should look on a page. So instead of learning, what can we do? Well, our subject here is children. And then our verb is to learn. And children is a they, right? So if we're going to pick a pronoun for children, we would say it's a they. And we know in the simple present, if they is our pronoun, or if our subject is a they, we don't need to add an S at the end. And so we just say children learn to socialize with a variety of other children. And that would be the proper way to correct something like that.